Maureen O'Hara. Maureen O'Hara. Oh. Woo! That was so sweet. What a funny movie. Okay, Christina here to watch another movie. Today's movie is Miracle on 34th Street. It's a 1947 movie. It's a Christmas movie, and that's all I know. I love holiday movies. I've seen a lot of them, but not this one. Don't ask how. Don't ask. I don't know. I don't know. But I haven't seen this one. I'm very open on the channel about what I have and have not seen. I haven't seen this one. I'm almost embarrassed. Okay. So I apologize that you won't see a lot of other classic holiday movies on the channel, at least not as first-time watches. I'm always up for a good classic rewatching or maybe even a live watch-along kind of thing, you know. It is what it is. I did get into the holiday spirit here. My red sort of Santa-looking sort of sweater, green lights behind me, and a little bit the best I can do of sort of a 1940s look. I don't know, maybe it's a little more 70s like Anchorman style, but that movie's also on the channel. Not a holiday movie. What is it, Veronica something Stone, Corning Stone? Okay, whatever. Be sure to do all the things, like and subscribe. Join me over on Instagram and Patreon. I have a lot of exciting things coming up, especially after the new year. All right, no more talking. Let's watch. Okay. It's Maureen O'Hara. Maureen O'Hara. Maureen O'Hara from Parent Trap. Are you kidding? I didn't know. I didn't know. I don't know anybody else. I don't know anybody else, but Maureen O'Hara I know. Okay. I don't know the music. I don't know. How do I not know anything about this movie? Okay, but I take it we're in New York, and it's in the 40s, right? Or is it in the 20s? It's a 40s movie, but is this? I don't know what year it is. Setting up the window. I would love that job. Like a mannequin, the movie Mannequin. Oh. It's a
You've got them mixed up.
Santa-looking feller.
You're making a mistake.
Can't hear you.
You're making a mistake with the reindeer.
Okay.
Open the door.
I'm sorry, the store isn't open today. And
Oh, I don't want to buy this. You've got Cupid where Blitzen should be. And Dasher should be on my right-hand side.
You should, huh?
Yes.
My right-hand side.
Well, bye.
All right.
Not at all.
Thanks.
Glad to help.
Kooky, crazy old man. Okay. He certainly has the Christmas spirit. Oh. Thanksgiving Day Parade. We watch it every year. Santa Claus. Without the E. It's not funny. Now we always use the E on the end of Claus. Is that her?
You're on the Pilgrim boat.
It's her.
You three, you're on the pirate boat, and you.
She's so beautiful.
But I've got enough to do to take care of the people.
What is she in charge of exactly? Oh. Oops. Oh. Oh, okay. Santa?
It's quite simple, really. Don't mind if I show you, eh?
No, sir.
No.
It'd probably be easier if you weren't drunk.
Don't you realize there are thousands of children lining the streets, waiting to see you? You're a disgrace to the tradition of Christmas. Your pardon?
Oh.
Could you tell me who's in charge here?
Yes, Mrs. Walker.
Of the whole parade? Where's NBC?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I thought you were our Santa Claus.
Your Santa Claus is intoxicated.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Stop
Oh,
that.
boy.
What do you mean by drinking? You know it's not allowed.
Oh, I ought to take this cane
And I ought to. Julian, get some black coffee. Plenty of it.
Yes.
Or just... Oh, dear. What would we do?
Could you be Santa Claus? Have you had any experience?
Oh, a little. No.
Oh, please.
No, the children mustn't be disappointed.
That's right.
All right, I'll do it.
Oh, good. Thank you.
It's the
Come
biggest
on.
part of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. It's a much different event these days, I think. When did it start? When did that parade start? I remember it being the big ordeal that it is now. Oh, there he is. Doing a fine job.
Wonderful. He's the best we've ever had. He didn't need any padding.
What?
Need any
Padding,
padding.
padding.
Where did you find him?
Petting. What?
Mrs. Walker.
You gonna leave that unexplained? It's not mine. Here comes Santa. It's always a big deal for the Thanksgiving Day parade. Is there a school featured? There's always a school band featured. Who's the musical guest?
Susan.
Susan. It's just like the Parent Trap.
Where's Susan?
She's watching the parade. What's that Mr. Gailey who lives in the front apartment?
Oh, I've been keeping an eye on him.
see through the apartments.
I guess it's all right.
Hanging out in a man's apartment?
He certainly is a giant, isn't he?
Not really. There are no giants, Mr. Gailey.
In olden days, there were a lot of... Well, what about the giant that Jack killed?
Jack, who? I don't know any fairy tales.
What?
Oh, your mother and father must have told you a fairy tale.
My mother thinks they're silly. I never met my father.
Ooh.
You see, my father and mother were divorced when I was a baby.
Scandalous. In the 40s? Scandalous. Okay, so single mother, working mother, New York City, in charge of the parade.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Susan's mother.
I'm Frank David.
Susan's told me quite a lot about you, too.
Aw. Yeah, see, I like her curls. I didn't quite get it.
What do you think of my parade?
Is that really going on outside? How did they do that? Is it a screen? It must be like a... How did they do that?
I'm fond of Susie. Very fond. I also want to meet you.
Ooh.
I read someplace that the surest way to meet the mother is to be kind to the child.
What a horrible trick.
Yeah.
There goes Santa Claus.
Oh, don't even mention the name.
No fantasies of any kind. Is that it?
That's right. And not have them growing up believing in a lot of legends and myths like Santa Claus, for example.
We've got such a big turkey for dinner. Couldn't we invite Mr. Gailey? Please, Mother.
Well,
Can I ask our
It's another little Parent Trap.
dinner's at 3.
Susie on the U.S. just right.
It worked. They're a sneaky little pair.
I tell you, Mrs. Walker, he's stupendous. Everybody's crazy about him. I just know that with that man on the throne, my department will sell more toys than it ever has. He's a born salesman.
I don't think that Santa wants to be commercialized. 7th and 34th, okay?
Gee, that sure is an elegant costume.
I've had it for years.
But even that one's better than the one I wear. I play Santa Claus over at the Y near our blocks.
You enjoy impersonating me?
Oh, yeah.
Me.
Hey, oh,
That's a lot of lockers. Goodness.
tips on how to be a good Santa Claus. Well, here's a list of toys that we have to push.
Yeah, he's not gonna like that.
You understand?
I certainly
Mm-hmm.
Good.
That's what I've been fighting against for years. The way they
Years.
commercialize Christmas.
Don't care what Christmas stands for. Just make a puff, make a puff.
Is that just the Macy's building there with a ton of lockers? Or is it a gym or something? Or...
What do you want for Christmas, Peter?
It's a
I
lot of
want a
lockers.
fire engine just like the big ones, only smaller, has a row of it, and I won't do it in the house, I'll only do it in the backyard. I promise.
No.
Macy's ain't got me.
Oh.
Nobody's got me.
You'll get your fire engine.
Oh boy. Thanks a lot.
I told you he'd get me one.
That's fine. That's just dandy. I've been all over. My feet are killing me.
Aw.
You can get those fire engines at Schoenfeld's on Lexington Avenue.
Uh,
$8.50, a wonderful bargain. Does that surprise you, sir?
Surprised me.
you're in the wrong
Macy's
store.
sending
Yeah.
people to other stores.
Well, the only important thing is to make the children happy.
I just don't get it.
I've been through that with one of my own kiddos with a pink rocking horse that sang songs. We eventually found one though.
Now, we've got skates and everything. You go to Gimbals. They'll have exactly what you're looking for, I'm sure.
Nope.
There you are. Yeah, yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, that's for you.
Imagine sending people to other stores, putting the spirit of Christmas ahead of the commercial. It's wonderful. From now on, I'm going to be a regular Macy customer.
Thank you, madam.
Imagine that.
Thought as long as we're in the store, you might as well say hello to Santa Claus.
Why?
Goodness. Where is this poor child's imagination?
Merry Christmas.
Sniffly.
Well, young lady, what's your name?
Susan Walker, what's yours?
Germs.
I'm Santa Claus. Oh, you don't believe that, do you?
Mm-mm. But I must say you're the best looking one I've ever seen.
Really?
Your beard doesn't have one of those things that goes over your ears.
No.
That's because it's real. Oh, go ahead. Pull it.
Ooh. Oh. Mm-mm.
Hello, Mother.
Hello, Susan. Hello, Mr. Gailey. Come along, dear.
Well, I thought as long as we're here, we might as well say hello to Santa Claus.
And those whiskers are real, too.
Yes, there are many men of long beards like that.
It's true.
I shouldn't have brought Susie to see Santa Claus, huh?
I tell her Santa Claus is a myth, and you bring her down here, and she sees hundreds of gullible children. What is she going to think? Whom is she going to believe? They grow up considering life a fantasy instead of a reality. They keep waiting for Prince Charming to come along. When he does, he turns out to be a...
We were talking about
Oops.
Susie, not about you.
Oops.
Well, whether you agree or not, I must ask you to respect my wishes regarding Susan.
Yikes.
I must bring her up as I see fit.
Yeah, but yikes. Where'd the magic go in her life?
What's your name?
I'm sorry she doesn't speak English. She's Dutch.
Oh.
She's been living in an orphan's home in Rotterdam ever since.
Oh.
We've adopted her.
Oh.
I told her you wouldn't be able to speak to her.
He's gonna be able to, isn't he?
Ik ben blij dat je gekomen bent.
Oh.
Ben Sinterklaas. Geef me in mijn schoentje.
That was so sweet.
You said you wanted to see me, Mrs. Walker.
Please tell her that you're not really Santa Claus. I want you to tell her the truth. What's your name?
Miss Kringle.
May I have this gentleman's employment card, please?
Yes, Mrs. Walker. Here it is, Mrs. Walker.
Thank you.
Oh. Oh. It said home for the aging?
I'm sorry, but we're going to have to make a change.
Change? Have I done something wrong?
Oh, no.
I just think you're a little crazy.
And I'll be right back and sign your pay voucher.
Policy you and Mr. Shellhammer initiated. But in the face of this tremendous response on the part of the public, I can't be angry with you.
What's going on?
Imagine Macy's Santa Claus sending customers to Gimbals. Over 500 thankful parents expressing undying gratitude to Macy's.
Just for a little honesty?
But I want every salesperson in this store to do precisely the same thing.
Their jaws just opened. Just sending them to other stores.
We'll be known as the helpful store, the friendly store, the store with a heart.
Oh. The heart always wins.
I want to thank you two again, and in your Christmas envelopes you'll find a more practical expression of my gratitude.
Ooh.
Thank
That's nice. Boy, I love her skirt suit. It's really smart.
I fired him.
Who?
Santa Claus.
What? You've got to get him back.
He's insane, I tell you.
But maybe he's only a little crazy, like painters or composers or some of those men in Washington.
We could have Mr. Sawyer talk to him.
Of course. He's a psychologist. That's what he's paid for, to examine employees. Yeah. But first, get that Santa Claus back.
Just a little bit crazy. Just like, you know, musicians and politicians. And
Keep you on by all means.
Oh, well, thanks. That's mighty good news. You see, Mrs. Walker, this is quite an opportunity for me. Christmas and I are sort of getting lost in the shuffle.
Oh, I don't think so, Chris.
I keep trying to look at her
Oh,
hair.
Christmas isn't just a day. It's a frame of mind.
See what I did wrong.
And I'm glad I met you and your daughter. You two are a test case for me. If I can win you over, there's still hope.
Make the non-believer believe.
The first thing in the morning, would you report to Mr. Sawyer's office?
Sawyer? A mental examination?
Well,
Never failed one yet. How many days in the week? 7? Muscular coordination test. Who was the vice president under John Quincy Adams? Daniel D. Tompkins.
Oh,
Good night.
just Google it, I guess. Okay, so she's got a finger wave here, and then the combs. I'll have to try that next time.
How many days in the week? 7.
7. You're gonna pull your eyebrow hairs out.
You know, sometimes the cause of nervous habits like yours is not obvious. Often they're the result of an insecurity.
Ouch.
Are you happy at home, Mr. Sawyer?
That will be all, Mr. Kringle. The examination's over. You may go.
Thank you.
You may go out that way.
Be nice to him. He's writing up your evaluation.
And it may interest you to know that I've been happily married for 26 years. I'd like to talk to you right away about this Kringle fellow.
oh, yes. Dr. Pierce from the Brooks home is here and would be a good time to settle the whole matter. Sorry, Doctor, but that was Mr. Sawyer, the gentleman I was telling you about.
Did they say goodbye?
I had a feeling along about now you people be wondering about Chris.
Mr. Sawyer.
How do you do?
How do you do?
It's my considered opinion he should be dismissed immediately.
Oh.
He should be placed in a mental institution.
What?
I don't agree, Mr. Sawyer. His is a delusion for good.
The deluded is apt to become violent. Look at the way he carries that cane. Please realize the responsibility is completely yours.
Oof.
You understand my position, Doctor. Trouble I couldn't
Possible trouble could he get into?
He's just a crazy old man.
There must be someone here at the store who could rent a room out to him.
You mean sort of take custody of it?
All right, so they're gonna babysit him too.
Who could rent him a room?
You?
But I'm positive Mrs. Shalhammer wouldn't
The
like
missus won't like it.
We always have martinis before dinner. I'll make them double strength tonight. I'll bet after a couple of them she'll be more receptive to the idea.
What sort of games do you play with the other children in the apartment building here?
They play silly games.
Sounds like a wonderful game to me. Of course, in order to play it, you've got to have an imagination.
Imagination.
Oh, sure, that's when you see things, but they're not really there.
Well, that can be caused by other things, too.
Oh, is that some foreshadowing?
How would you like to be able to make snowballs in the summertime? Eh? And in the afternoon, fly south with a flock of geese.
How about Princess Leia? With Luke and Han and the Millennium Falcon?
Learn is how to pretend. And the next time Homer says, what kind of animal are you? You tell him you're a monkey.
But I don't know how to be a monkey.
Now put your right hand up here, under there.
She looks like she's a ballerina, actually.
That's right.
Those are nice ballet arms.
Okay,
Okay, but that's not so much like a ballerina.
Together, monkeys.
What's going on here?
Oh, we're just having our first lesson in pretending.
Yeah, she's not gonna like it.
They're looking for a room for you here in town.
That's right.
If you'd like to move in with me, I'd be almost too happy to have you.
Look at his short little tie. It's like 11 inches long.
Gailey, it's a deal.
Good.
Hello, Mr. Shellhammer.
I made the martinis triple strength, and she feels wonderful.
Oh no. Oh dear.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you, darling. No, still don't. No.
Hello.
Wow, look at that ring.
It's Mrs. Shellhammer, and they have the loveliest room, and they'd be so
Yeah,
happy
but they've
if
already
you'd
made
stay with them.
plans.
But I'm going to stay with Mr. Gailey.
Mr. Gailey.
I think I better get to meet.
But there must be something you want for Christmas, something you haven't even told your mother about, eh? Oh.
Bubblegum. You should probably take your bubblegum. You go to bed.
Well,
What do you want, honey? What is it? Aww.
a real house. If you're really Santa Claus, you can get it for me.
Well, it's a tall order.
Yeah, this
I'll
is
do my best.
not going the way I was thinking it would go. I thought it would be some kind of special doll or something.
Good night.
Good night, Mr. Crinkle.
Aw. Still a little weird. Have the crazy old man and putting the little kid to bed. Yeah, take the gum out. Oh. What is she doing? Oh dear. Guilty. I did that when I was little. And I would come home from school and put the gum back in my mouth and practice blowing bubbles. And I had like 4 pieces stuck together in giant bubble, and then it popped on my face and I couldn't breathe. Scared me to death. Got it all off. It was in my hair and everything, and I was like, okay, that's enough.
Of course, someday I'd like to get a place on Long Island.
I was like 7.
Not a big
Yeah.
house, just one of those junior partner deals around Manhasset.
Colonial house.
Yeah.
Either that or Cape Cod.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take care of Susie if you'll take care of her mother.
It's a deal. Does Santa Claus sleep with his whiskers outside or in?
Always sleeping them out.
Oh.
Cold air makes them grow.
This is funny. What a funny movie. Oh my goodness. That is so weird.
We don't carry that brand, but I think Gimbel's does. Let me see.
Thank you.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, really confused.
It's the greatest goodwill policy I ever heard of.
Goodwill policy.
And what does that make Gimbel? Nothing but a profiteering money grubber.
Notify our stores in San Francisco, Atlanta, Toledo, and Newark to get going right away.
All right, Mr. Macy.
Goodwill to all.
Hold it, Mr. Gimbel.
Wow.
This is just a little something to show my appreciation for all you've done.
Thank you, Mr. Macy. A doctor. He's been very kind to me. He needs an x-ray machine.
I can get it for cost.
You can get an x-ray machine through a department store?
Doesn't your mother ever sing to you at night? Home again, Jigger.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Mm.
Do you happen to have a spare piece?
Hopefully not previously chewed. It was going to get stuck in your beard and stuff.
Well, here goes.
You can do it. Oh, no. Yeah. It's funny. Ugh.
Hello, Alfred.
I don't feel like it.
Oh, what's the matter?
What's the matter, Alfred?
Nothing. Remember I was telling you how I like to play Santa Claus over at the Y on Christmas, and, well, I was telling that to Mr. Sawyer, see, and he's a psychologist, you know. Guys who dress up like Santa Claus, see, and give presents away, do it because when they was young, they must have did something bad.
What?
It's what he calls a guilt complex.
Well, it's not really how it all works.
It doesn't seem to me that you've had time to be guilty of anything much except overeating.
He's doing it for free because I'm an interesting case.
And he sees you every day? Excuse me, Alfred. A few things have just come into my head, and I'm going to say them.
Uh-oh.
What do you mean bursting into my office like this?
Are you a licensed psychiatrist?
What business is it of yours? The boy is definitely maladjusted, and I'm helping him.
Maladjusted? You talk about maladjusted.
Get out before I have you thrown out.
Goodness. Okay.
There's only one way to handle a man like you.
Up!
Uh-oh. What?
Chris! Sawyer, look at that bump. He's unconscious. Better get a wet towel.
No, better get a doctor.
Sawyer.
Where to? Bellevue.
Bellevue?
Uh-oh.
Did she know about this?
Yes. We all discussed it.
Oh, Gailey. Mr. Gailey, okay.
Consideration of the property hereby agreed to be conveyed by the
He
first
shouldn't have
party
hit
to the
him.
party. Hello. Why, yes, we share an apartment together. Bellevue. But why, Doctor? What did he... I'm afraid I shall have to recommend commitment. I'll be right over, Doctor.
This is gonna be sad. He's just gonna be sitting there in his little padded cell. Aw.
Hello, Chris.
Hey.
You deliberately failed that examination, didn't you?
I had a feeling Doris was beginning to believe in me.
All right, she had doubts. Why not? She hasn't really believed in anything for years.
There's Mr. Sawyer.
Yeah.
Yet he's out there and I'm in here.
Yeah.
He's called normal and I'm not.
What happens to you matters to a lot of other people. People like me who believe in what you stand for. And people like Susie who are just beginning to. You can't quit. You can't let them down.
Let's get out of here.
No.
You're not gonna be able to.
But you'll get me out of this.
You're putting me in an awful spot.
But I believe in you. You can get me down.
That's a lot of nonsense. Dangerous my foot. I don't care if he failed 10 examinations. Now, you get the case dropped tomorrow, or you might have another lump to match the one that Chris gave you.
Yes, Mr. Mason.
Okay. Get that crazy guy back no matter what.
Just routine commitment papers, cut and dried. Thinks he's Santa Claus.
Sign away.
Mr. Gailey to see you, Your Honor. He represents Mr. Kringle. I request a formal hearing to which I may bring witnesses.
Monday morning at 10 o'clock.
Mr. Gailey, I represent Mr. Macy. My name's Sawyer.
Oh, so you're Sawyer.
We're very anxious to avoid publicity of any kind.
You know, if I'm going to win this case, I'm going to have public opinion and plenty of it. And publicity's just the way to do it. Thanks, Mr. Sawyer.
Oh, he's going to the press. Oh, there goes more of the eyebrows. Lunacy hearing. The case. That's funny.
I don't see what they're making such a fuss about. After all, he's an old man. Let some judge handle it that isn't coming up for re-election.
I recognize the guy on the left.
I got you elected, didn't I? And I'm going to try to get you re-elected. And nobody's going to hold it against me for doing my duty as I see it.
Oh, cuties.
How about a great big kiss for Grandpa,
No? Whoa.
I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Any man who puts Santa Claus on trial for lunacy.
Oops.
See what I mean?
Oh, what is he in? Is he, is it a TV show? My Three Sons. Is that him? I'd look it up, but I don't have time. I want to keep watching.
Oh, don't worry about me. I've got the best lawyer in the world.
Mr. Kringle, will you take the stand?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
The testimony you are the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You're supposed to put your hand on the Bible or something.
Where do you live?
That's what this hearing will decide.
Hmm.
You believe that you're Santa Claus? Of course. State rest, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Perhaps he didn't understand the question correctly.
Oh, I understood the question perfectly, Your Honor.
He's trying really hard.
No further questions at this time.
Thank you.
Oh, boy.
Anyone who thinks he's Santa Claus is not sane.
Not necessarily. I intend to prove that Mr. Kringle is Santa Claus.
Okay. I think I had the same look that the judge had. Okay. Well, that was a turn.
Sorry I'm late.
You're not serious about this.
Of course I am.
But you can't possibly prove that he's Santa Claus.
And either I drop this impossible case immediately, or they will drop me.
See?
I beat to it. I quit.
Fred, you didn't.
Of course I did. I can't let Chris down. He needs me.
Look, darling,
Darling.
you can't just throw your career away because of a sentimental whim.
Then I'll open my own office.
And what kind of cases will you get?
Goodwill.
Probably a lot of people like Chris that are being pushed around and have faith in me. Everything will
be okay.
It's not a question of faith, it's just common sense.
It's kindness and joy and love and all the other intangibles.
You give up your job, you throw away all your security, and then you expect me to be happy about it.
She's so beautiful. Sorry. I need to be listening to what they're saying, but I just love Maureen
When
O'Hara.
you do, don't overlook those lovely intangibles. You'll discover they're the only things that are worthwhile.
Ooh, neat little swirl in the back of her head. I wish... I love watching things in black and white like this. It's neat. But I wish we could see her red hair.
Your name?
R.H. Macy.
You are the owner of one of the biggest department stores in New York City?
The biggest.
Mr. Macy, you're under oath. Do you really believe that this man is Santa Claus?
Well...
I do.
Wait. I'm starting to get confused.
Psychologist. Where'd you graduate from? You're fired.
The question of Santa Claus seems to be largely a matter of opinion. This court therefore intends to keep an open mind. There should be evidence on either side.
Will Thomas Mara please take the stand?
Who, me?
Thomas Mara, Jr.
Oh, okay. His son? Subpoena. Yikes.
Hello, Daddy.
Hi, Dad.
Do you believe in Santa Claus, Tommy?
Sure I do. There he is,
Right
sitting there.
Your Honor, I protest.
My daddy wouldn't tell me anything that wasn't so.
Thank you, Tommy.
Your Honor, the state of New York concedes the existence of Santa Claus. I therefore request that Mr. Gailey now submit authoritative proof.
I ask for an adjournment until tomorrow.
The court stands adjourned till tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock.
But I've got a feeling he is Santa Claus, Mother.
Some people don't believe that.
He's not like anyone else. He must be Santa.
I think perhaps you're right, Susie.
Then I'm going to write him a letter right now and cheer him up.
Aw. Send him some bubble gum. Believe. Aw. Beautiful penmanship. Aww. Why am I getting emotional about that? I think there's just something about a saddened heart warming up. Whoa, whoa. That's cool.
Hey, Lou, how many
many Santa Claus letters we got down at the dead letter office?
There must be about 50,000 of them.
I never thought of that.
Load them with all that Santa Claus mail and deliver it to Mr. Kringle down at the courthouse.
This is just like people hitting the balls into other people's courts.
And furthermore, the defense has yet to offer one concrete piece of evidence to substantiate this preposterous claim.
Mr. Gailey, have you anything further to offer?
It concerns the Post Office Department, an official agency of the United States government.
Aha.
Furthermore, the United States postal laws and regulations make it a criminal offense to willfully misdirect mail. I have here 3 letters. They're addressed simply Santa Claus. I have further exhibits, Your Honor, but I hesitate to produce them.
Produce them, Mr. Gailey. Put them here on my desk.
But, Your Honor...
That guy's hilarious. Bring him in. Here they come. Oh boy. How many bags of mail is 50,000 letters? Oh boy. No, not done yet. Oh boy.
Your Honor,
Hello.
every one of these letters is addressed to Santa Claus. Therefore, the Post Office Department, a branch of the federal government, recognizes this man, Kris Kringle, to be the one and only Santa Claus.
He's swimming.
Since the United States government declares this man to be Santa Claus, this court will not dispute it. Case dismissed.
Well, there you go. Made it through unscathed.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
And the same to you.
Thank you.
Okay, just don't go around bonking people on the head, please. So he's just back at the old folks' home. Nice home. Nice place.
You know my assistant, Alfred, Mr.
Okay.
Mason.
Merry Christmas, Alfred.
Mr. Sherman.
Mr. Mason.
Chris, all I can say is the state Supreme Court declared you to be Santa Claus, and personally and professionally, I agree with them.
Wait, was that an X-ray machine?
I don't suppose you even want to talk to me.
Something about a present.
Yes, I know.
Couldn't get it because you're not Santa Claus, that's why. And I shouldn't have believed you.
Faith is believing in things when common sense tells you not to.
You mean it's like, if at first you don't succeed, try again.
Yes.
Kinda.
Now, if you'll go this way, you'll miss a lot of traffic. I've written it all down.
I believe.
This must be the turn here.
She's still. I believe.
Stop, Uncle Fred, stop! Stop!
Gosh.
Susie! Susie, where are you going?
What is she doing?
But this is my house, Mommy. The one I asked Mr.
Now,
Kringle for.
Susie.
Oh, you were right, Mommy. Mr. Kringle is Santa Claus.
You told her that?
Guilty. Ooh.
Sign outside said it's for sale.
It's fine.
I never really doubted you. It was just my silly common sense. Oh, no, it can't be.
Maybe I didn't do such a wonderful thing after.
Aww. Wow. And just like that, it's over. Okay. Alright. That was Miracle on 34th Street. It's very sweet. It's old enough now that it's sort of not relatable to modern day. I think that's obvious. But I still think that I see the depiction of heart, the definition of faith, and the definition of believing, and I feel like it's a whole movie of technicalities. That technically they were able to find an authority that would claim that he was Santa Claus. Like, it was just all like people kind of avoiding the question. But it's still very heartwarming. And I love old movies like this. Just the fashion and the hair, and I know there's a colorized version of it out there. I wouldn't mind seeing it. I mean, it's supposed to be the Christmas season at a department store. I'm sure it was very colorful and festive, and even all the outfits, you know, and Maureen O'Hara's, her red hair, probably her matching lips, you know. But that's what imagination is for. So we'll just go with that. Is this my favorite holiday movie? No. Was it enjoyable? Yes. If it was on TV somewhere and, you know, streaming or something, and I would sit down and watch it, or maybe decorating and have it on in the background, or cooking or something. Would I watch it each year? I mean, sure, like, you know, have it there, and it's very sweet. There's some really sweet little moments and some funny moments, yeah. It wasn't quite as gripping as other holiday movies. It didn't actually get a tear. Kind of got close, but I don't know. Maybe because I didn't grow up with it. But maybe that's, you know, it's not too late. So maybe this is the beginning of a new tradition for me, for my family. Why did I not see this before? I don't know. I really don't know. I thought maybe I had even seen some scenes of it, but if I did, I didn't recognize it. I really just have never paid attention to this movie until now. Okay, so it is very sweet. It's very sweet. I think I just need to make room for it. And again, I only recognized Maureen O'Hara and the judge's politician friend with a cigar. I know I've seen him in something else, but I didn't recognize anybody else. The old guy, I mean the Santa Claus guy, or Mr. Gailey. Was he? Like, I know some other famous actors from this time, but I don't know this guy. He was very Cary Grant-esque, and the accents were fabulous. The Mid-Atlantic, is that the right term? Accents, and the New York accents. I love it. I think Maureen O'Hara has a bit of an Irish accent that comes out every now and then. Or maybe that's just kind of her own spin of her little Hollywood accent. I don't know. I don't care. I love her, no matter what. Parent Trap. The original Parent Trap. That is a gem of a movie, and she is stunning. Maybe that's what I'm missing, is I was really wanting one of those scenes with like the sparkle, the close-up where it's fuzzy with the sparkle in her eye, and you know, where she suddenly realizes that she loves whoever the main guy is. And in this one, it was kind of like all of a sudden she's calling him darling, and like the kiss almost startled me. I was like, oh, like, whoa, what just happened? Okay. When did the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade start? They used the store in a movie. Like, now it's crazy, like royalties and things like that. So back then, was that as expensive? Like product placement and store brands in movies? Sometimes you just have to take things at face value. Maybe watch it in color. And again, just try to make room for it in my holiday activities, my watching habits, because it is very sweet, heartwarming. Okay, So thanks for watching along. Be sure to do all the things, like and subscribe, Instagram, Patreon. This is pretty much the one holiday movie that's going to be featured on the channel this year. I went all out for the month of October this year, a few months ago, mainly because I have that many movies, like scary movies, horror movies, you know, or even just thrillers that I haven't seen. Haven't seen a lot of those because that was just not my thing, not my favorite. So I'm really glad to be developing an appreciation of those now. But with holiday movies, I love rom-coms and I love holiday movies, and so I've seen a lot of those. But the ones that I have seen, I just kind of stick with those, and I need to expand. So there are a handful of others that I haven't seen that I will be featuring on the channel in the future. But regardless, sitting down and getting all cozy and watching a warm-hearted holiday movie is always fun. So thank you for joining along with me on this one. The full reaction will be on Patreon, and feel free to suggest other holiday movies. You never know which ones I haven't seen. Like I said, there's that handful that I haven't, and I definitely need to. And any other rewatches that I do on the channel, I definitely have some favorites that I need to share. Some of them are kind of rare too, and I'm very dedicated to them, and I would love to share them with everybody. Just come and watch it with me, because it's always fun to watch your favorites. Okay, I feel like a big puzzle piece was filled in with this movie for me for holiday movies. I'm so glad that I got to see it. Thank you to everyone who suggested it. It was lovely. And for whatever anybody celebrates, I wish you the best in the holiday season and in the new year coming up. Lots of exciting things coming up. But as always, just remember, you don't have to be perfect. Just be okay. And maybe make it on Santa's good list.